Okay, we're live. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. It's Friday, and we have quite a bit on deck. We've just had NFP rollout. I think that came out really high. I think it was like twice the anticipated, twice the forecasted number. It was like 170,000, so similar to the month before, similar to April, and just really high in terms of where we are with the market. All these concerns about AI killing jobs and mass layoffs and whatnot. Well, some of the hyperscalers are laying off a lot of people, but in general, it's just not showing up across the payrolls, basically the NFP. So that's a positive sign. That happened at, so my clock here is Central Europe, so that happened at 2:30 p.m. And you can see price took a little bit of a dump, kind of bouncing between the previous day's value area low in blue dotted here and the opening range high from yesterday, also the overnight VWAP and dotted up here. So it's bouncing a little bit and then settling at the previous day's value area low. I think that's interesting in the sense that we've seen a little bit like yesterday where it was bouncing off this 75.30 level in the overnight session. Now it's bouncing off the 75.50 level pretty much, which is also that value area low. So that's interesting. In terms of where we're going to go with the session, I think those are some of the key levels that I'm watching. So today I'm actually a little bit in scenario mode. Like I want to make sure that I plan not just for like having a bullish bias, but if price goes like to here, I will be leaning bullish, and if price goes to here, I will be leaning bearish. And I think those levels really are the 75.50 and the 75.30. So if we bounce off the 75.50, come above the overnight VWAP, at that point we'll also be above the New York VWAP, and pushing towards the previous day's New York VWAP, which is sitting up at 75.70-ish. Then I'll probably be more bullish than bearish. However, if we see that breakdown below the 75.30, potentially down below yesterday's lows, then we're definitely leaning bearish, and that sell-off is likely to continue. I'm a little bit on the fence today about where I should. Good morning, Francis. I'm a little bit on the fence of where I should go in terms of ES versus NQ. So the thing is, NQ right now, if we are actually seeing a tech sell-off, like we had the Broadcom news 2 days ago, and Broadcom, you actually have it up here. You can see that on the right in my watch list. It was down 12% yesterday. I think it was one of the biggest sort of mega cap sell-offs, single day mega cap sell-offs in history. If that kind of spills over into the hyperscalers, into the Max 7, then NQ is probably going to be a cleaner setup for shorts than ES, because at the same time you've got YM, that's the Dow index, just ripping. So it's making all-time highs right now. So it's that combination of you've got something rallying and something selling off, and that really creates an environment where the S&P, which is an aggregate of all of that, just gets mixed up in the middle there. And I've gotten burned a couple of times trading ES when the two other indices were just flying off in opposite directions. So I might actually flip to NQ today. It's not something that I do very often, but we'll see. We've got Mike joining us at 9:45. It's gonna be a cozy Friday. I think I'm also gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. Be patient today, also because we've had the news, good or bad. We've had news, so that's shakeout. We'll expect some kind of shakeout as well as the market opens and volume picks up. So I'm going to be remaining a little bit patient here to see if we can get some good structure to the session, to the price action within the session, not just the pre-market session. You can see the range isn't that big in the pre-market, so we want to see some real structure in the session itself. Good. NQ versus ES. That's a big question for me today. I've got Mike's indicator up here, so you can see that's looking pretty bearish all around. I've added CL and GC, so that's crude oil, CL, and GC is gold. So the crude oil futures and the gold futures, and they're also completely bearish. I think gold, if we just take a look at the price action on gold, yeah, it dumped based on the non-farm payrolls, and I'm actually not sure why. There's just increased selling pressure. I can't really figure out whether I'm not experienced enough in macro to figure out why a strong US labor market will spill over into selling gold. Maybe it's because of a strengthening of the economy. It's the risk-on sentiment. People are buying into stocks and so on. But then when you couple that with a sell-off in Nasdaq, it's kind of a mixed picture, right? So and I think that's pretty telling actually of the current environment. It is a mixed picture. Yeah, exactly, Francis. I could wonder about that as well. I think for my long-term holdings, like for my stock holdings, I've scaled out a little bit here at the highs. I had a big position in NQ or in the Nasdaq 100, an ETF, but I've started scaling out of that just both to have a little bit more cash. So if it does correct, I can pile that cash back into the index at a better price. And hold it long term, but also simply because I don't want to have full allocation at these. I was just looking at someone online who's explaining how the Nasdaq has rallied the equivalent of, I think, 2 years or 3 years of gains, average gains, in 2 months. So a correction is due somehow, right? We never want to try and time the market, but it would be logic that we would see some sort of sell-off. But it's all at the backdrop of massive earnings, really strong performance for the major companies. So we'll see. But it's a little bit like a lot of market players are doing what I'm doing right now, right? So sell a bit of their positions, scale out of it, and then see where we go from there. Okay, we've got Alex as well in the studio. Hey, Alex, you're online. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Can hear you fine. Yep.
I am using my AirPods today to see if you can hear me better. So nice and crisp.
Nice and crisp, exactly.
Thank you.
I was just going on about how the picture is a bit mixed. You've got some sort of sell-off developing in tech, and at the same time you're forming new all-time highs in the Dow index, which is, yeah. So where are you gonna go, right, in the indices? And I kind of find that ES is sometimes stuck there in the middle. You don't really know where to go.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. When tech is selling off, NQ tends to be the cleaner one, or let's say ripping or selling off. NQ is easier to trade following the big market caps and tickers.
Yeah.
So we talked last week. I was on stream about SMH. SMH
Right.
is right now down pre-market 3.5%.
Right.
And that ticker, it moves the Nasdaq pretty good.
Yeah.
And also MU, we spoke about MU. MU has a lot of volume, even though Nvidia is 5 times bigger than MU.
Yeah.
But it seems that NQ is moving together with those two tickers.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it closer usually. And then ES, if you saw yesterday, ES was like ripping to the upside, and NQ was the one delay following up. So you're correct on the analysis. You can, trade the cleaner index.
Exactly.
So yeah,
we are in a bit of we're at all-time highs, and we're kind of chopping a little bit, at least on ES and NQ. But if we do see a sell-off developing in tech, then I would probably go and trade Nasdaq, because if you can just get cleaner shorts there, right? rather than sit through a lot of chop.
That is correct. That is
Potentially,
correct.
at least.
Potentially.
Yeah, and then there's, I mean, the difference between your long-term portfolio, long-term stock holdings, and so on, and day trading is we don't really want to. We talked about that yesterday as well. We don't really want to try and predict what's going to happen. We just need to have the current read and then react off of that. Of course, we can make some like scenarios or anticipations of what's gonna happen in the next few minutes, but it has to be based off of the indicators, the price structure, and so on.
Gotcha. Right now, I'm reading I have a terminal, a Claude terminal that gives me a brief. So it says that we're in positive gamma, and yesterday was like really good, telling me my analysis to support my analysis. I don't take the trades blindly that it tells me. I do see the supporting information it gives me.
Yeah.
As a knowledge base, and then it says we're positive gamma. Yesterday it told me there was a call wall on SPX. I follow SPX to take like people will follow ES to take shorts or longs on SPY. SPX is a little bit like a little bit more expensive, but it's been spot on. I waited all day yesterday just for this trade. My first and only trade that I took yesterday was a short on the highs.
Okay.
Because SPX, and I traded it from 604 to 87 ES.
Yeah.
To the close. The target was 85, but it didn't give it to me by the close, so I did. But I waited for a lower high.
Yeah.
I waited for a lower high. If you go to the 1 minute, this is just discretional trading that I did. It's not following the VWAPs. I did take a long in the morning, but I because NQ was like so choppy and going down, I decided to get out of my long, and I think the ASFX was short when I went long.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you went long as well. I think I saw.
I was long on that second bounce of the New York. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like a very tricky trade if you think about it. You know,
so I was long here. If you look at my screen, I was long here, and I think I caught the move up to. So this is the 1 minute. I caught the move up to here or something like that. I think I went out at 60, 68, right? So, but you're short. That was after the market highs, the session highs here, and then you shorted here at 604.
Yep.
Okay, that's a pretty good trade. Is that based on options like gamma and so on?
Yes. So
nice.
I can like take a quick. So this says I'm just gonna read it like few sentences here, so you can see what I take out of it. So what I take out of it here, it says the positive gamma, so is equal volume pin regimen, meaning it could be in a range. The gamma flip, this is the 75 38 50. This is the line that makes today ES is sitting right on it. 75 46. The call wall, the resistance is 7600. Resistance minus upside cap. Put wall is 75 30, which is both their magnet. Shows a negative gamma right now, and the biggest pin. Okay, so basically, right now we have to wait. I don't take any trades on the open.
Do you want to see a break of one of these levels, like a clean break of it, or?
So for example, yesterday, it did tell me to take a long on the put wall at 75.47. Coincidentally, that was the VWAP, and I did take the long, but I did not like it as much, even though YM was going to all-time highs, which it did all-time highs.
Right.
And it did support the long yesterday. With the ES, but NQ was like You know,
It
NQ
was more
has so
mixed.
much influence in the market. So I was like,
Yeah.
man, I don't like this long. And then NQ all of a sudden whoosh, took off.
Yeah, I think I went in on my long just a couple of minutes before NQ broke New York, but once it did, I mean, that also convinced me to stay in the trade, right, and just ride with the entire like 3 indices going up.
Okay, so the bias confirmation is to confirm the bias confirmation, reclaim and hold of 75.3850 gamma flip, and you hold above the VWAP 75.60, 75.66, positive gamma grind back towards 7600 call wall. That's what it's saying. Invalidation, flip short, sustained trade below 75.3850, flips dealers to negative gamma, expect acceleration towards 75.30, which is the put wall.
Okay.
And a loss of 75.30 opens to 75.16, June 4th low. Then SMA 20, 74.77. Damn.
That's too complicated for me. So what are you saying? When should I go long and when should I go short? Good morning, John.
Well, it's telling me if we hold 75.38 and we go above VWAP, we have the upside potential to go to 7600 again to test it.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
which is magnet. If we go below 75.38, it opens the negative gamma to go to the put wall at 75.30, which is not big, but we break 75.30, we go to 75.14 or 16 is saying.
Yeah, we got another 20 points down. Yeah. Interesting. So right now, 52. So looking at a 12-point opening range, but we're only halfway through it, so we're not trading anything yet. John is thinking about a rally after 10 a.m. Let's see. A wise guy once said, a wise man once said, don't think.
React.
Just react.
Yeah, I have to get all my stuff ready. So give me 1 second here.
Yeah. I can see Mike is also in the chat. Mike, when you're joining us, we can have a little bit of chat because I was adding crude oil and gold to my my HUD, my head-up display down here. I think sometimes what I've seen is also that, at least for example, gold can be a little bit of a leading indicator as to some of the moves. And right now it's just confirming bearish bias all around pretty much. But it's not something I use that actively. It's just a nice added piece of information. But we have full VWAP alignment.
To the downside.
To the downside, yeah. And pre-market, we had a nice rejection of the...
I'm gonna have to do like a...
What are you thinking?
I have to do a 4-hour. I like to do my 4-hour analysis, even though, you know, we're intraday traders, but we are inversing a lot of FEGs here.
Yeah. On the 4-hour?
I usually take a look at the 4-hour. Yeah. Not usually, but when we see like down days like this, even though we're in a bullish market, like you say, all-time highs, I want to see the invalidation points of the market to continue like bearish. So we made a double top, we made a higher low, and then we made a lower high. And now if we break 75.22, where it will be a lower low on the 4-hour, which is kind of bearish.
Yeah, it certainly is.
But it doesn't mean there could be a correction. So it could be just a correction of a extremely bullish market running. So when I see that, you know, I now I see a head and shoulders on the 4-hour, you know, and we can see, you know, a nice drop to that 477 that Claude is saying. That still makes the market still is bullish. It could, and a higher number would be a higher low. But I like to go, like we say, the trend is your friend, even though VWAP alignments intraday is a certain way.
Yeah.
I like to take trades usually where
But
so
that's
if we break that level,
yeah.
we're bearish for the
I think
intraday and high time frame.
yeah, I think that's also why. I mean, if we zoom out to the daily and we just look at, I mean,
Yeah,
if
we're
you're gonna
bullish.
if you're gonna short this market, you're gonna have a tough time, right? But of
Correct.
course, it is rolling over a bit, so we are flattening the curve, but it's certainly still buyers, right? So that's also why I think I've been winning on the longs the past few days, because as soon as you had that VWAP confirmation that buyers are back in, it's just a higher probability trade in these conditions.
Right. No, this volatility right now, I'll tell you right now, Jasper, I'm not taking any trades.
Okay.
This
You
this
mean
is a
it's a
right now I'm
17?
not taking any trades. I will wait. I will wait
Yeah.
for double break or break and retest.
Yeah. I need all my rules fulfilled. I need a break of the opening range. I need to come back inside and then see where we go from there, because it's just also Friday. I want to be more patient than I would be on a Wednesday, for example, and just see if a good solid price structure is developing. Then I take my also on the 15-minute. Then I take my judgment from there. One thing I'm also doing today is I have 3 accounts that I'm copy trading, and then I have a 4th one. And because I have an activity rule on that, so I need to keep some activity on it. So that's what I'm trading today. So if I do take a trade, I'll go with that one, and I'll trade it a little bit heavier than like I normally do with the 3 other accounts. So probably something like 7 to 10, of course, depending on the setup, right? But something like that, to see where we can take that account single. Okay, we're breaking down now.
Gotcha.
Max 7 on my watch list here is also bleeding.
Yeah.
We're approaching yesterday's lows. That's at 24.50. It's gonna be interesting. See what happens here.
So another thing that helped me with my short yesterday, not to take you off subject and
Go ahead.
the strategy of the VWAP. If you look at the VIX, I know the VIX is just an added collateral confluence that sometimes I use. But if you look at it in the 4 hour, if you look at it the 4 hour, the VIX, look at what happened when we touched that level that it touched yesterday. It went down, I don't know, 25%, whatever, from the high to that low,
Right.
and it reacted high. So that level right there tell me, okay, there's gonna be a reaction of the VIX. So it's an inverse, right? So if the VIX reacts there after a sweep, it's going to have a reaction on the S&P and the Nasdaq.
Equities
So that's
will go
also another confluence that I used to take my short yesterday. It wasn't, oh, Claude, you're telling me there's a call wall there? Yeah, whatever, let's go. No, I have to look for evidence in the market that is going to help me go with that thesis that that trade could work. You know, the probabilities could be on my favor.
Yeah.
And it was a 10-point risk trade for a 15 how much 604 to 87, I don't know, 17 points I took. So
okay.
probably
Are
like
you
a 1 R.
Alex, are you generally looking for high R trades like 1.52 plus R?
No, I do not. I risk manage or try this week. I'm gonna be totally honest, my brain was inverse and I blew up 4 accounts and
Oh
it
no.
did not.
Damn.
Yeah, I blew up 4 accounts, but it's okay. I know it happens. So if you think about 4 accounts as prop accounts, it's probably around $350.
Okay.
It wasn't, I don't know, 2 million, whatever, $200,000, which is
Right.
$50,000 account. So it was $350. I'm okay with that. It's my allowance, and it's been a while that I don't blow up like that.
Yeah.
That I didn't tilt it. For some reason, my brain wasn't in the best position, and I just tilted and I just meditated on it, and I'm better now because I'm growing from it, and
Yeah.
it's challenges that you face every day. In life in general, you have to learn, and this business is not easy, especially when you just have a mouse right here that you click buy or sell.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to tilt, and it's like that gambling trigger that I had. Oh,
Yeah.
I had every green little bar. I was like, no, click buy, but
Yeah.
it was the opposite. I needed to sell the rips,
And even
and
with all your experience, that still happens, right? And it happens to the best of people,
all
right?
the experience I have. We follow people. They've been trading for decades,
Yeah.
Jesper, right?
Yeah.
We follow people that trade for decades, and it still happens to them.
Yeah.
Not so often.
One thing, I mean, I'm pretty, I consider myself pretty risk averse. I'm not really a gambler, never went to the casino or anything like that. So I actually don't really tilt. I have my risk settings. So I'll put on my 50Ks, I'll have a max of $500 losing, then it liquidates and blocks me. And I know, I think I haven't tried it, but I think you can then deactivate that and keep on tilting, right? But I've never done that. And so what I actually try to do is I go on my paper account and I tilt over there. So there are some, you need to really try and apply some hacks, because tilting is, I refuse to believe that you cannot get over tilt. You said it yourself, right? Some people with decades of experience have minimized it at least. So maybe it is possible to really make it a rare occurrence. But it's super duper hard. And I think meditating, like you said, is really one of the keys. Try and really think about what's happening in your psychology to cause that. Right. So Francis has a question in the chat. I think I also have a full-time job. Where are you based, Francis? Can you put that in the chat? Because if you're trading New York session in the AM, like if it's AM your time as well, it's probably difficult to make it fit with a job. But if you're, I mean, with where I am, I've made it fit into my schedule where, yeah, okay, you're in New York. Okay, so the way I've done it is I go early to work, 7 a.m., and then I'll come home around 3:15. Market open is 3:30. Maybe, I don't know what your job is, but maybe it's possible to shift your schedule so that you can get to work at 11 a.m. I don't know, and then work later. But it's super difficult. I realize that. Trading from your phone. Do you have good experience with that, Alex?
No, I've done it in TradingView.
Yeah.
It's very nice. I love it when it works.
Yeah.
When it's going your way. But when
Yeah.
it's not going your way, the thing is that your phone, the way we trade, we usually like to see other things to find evidence. So if you're trading on one screen, that's why when I travel, I have an extra monitor. I have my phone, so I have a setup when I travel because this is my 9 to 5. So when I travel and go to vacation or whatever, I still go on the charts. Not all the time, but when I have like a long vacation, I need to, I need to go on the charts, and that's what I do, and that's what the beauty of being a independent, day trader, that you can do it where as long as you have an internet connection. But I do not recommend trading unless you're taking a position that is long term. You want to buy a position, buy it from your phone, buy it from your computer, buy it from your iPad, doesn't matter. But day trading from your phone, it could be tricky, because something could be happening in another screen and another symbol that you're not looking.
I think good job, John, on catching a win on your phone. I would say I have so many confluences that I'm monitoring that I just don't get the full picture when I'm on my phone, and that it just leaves you handicapped. It leaves you incapacitated. You can't really make your full judgment, and then you're just taking a guess. I would say unless you've really experienced, maybe you've seen a lot of patterns before, and then you can judge the pattern just based on the price action off of one chart. But I wouldn't do it as a beginner. You're just gonna get burned too many times that, and then it's not really conducive to anything. So actually, the advice probably would be that most days if you cannot trade, then don't, or do Asia session or something like that, where you do have the time, sit down. It's possible to trade Asia. I mean, March Asia was the thing to trade because it was just ripping every night where I am, and then maybe once in a while you can, I don't know, work from home, or you have a day off or whatever it is, vacation, and then you can trade New York and see where that goes. So.
Mama said show manuals.
You got kids in the background? So do I.
Sorry, summer vacation started here, and
Yeah.
my son just came in the room.
Yep. Yeah, it's
So
super high, Francis.
definitely the break and retest. It will be the trade that I'm looking for.
And when you say break and retest of what?
We already broke that down to the downside. I would like to see a retest of the VWAP.
Yeah.
And let me see what is the alignment on the VWAP here, because I wasn't really paying attention here. I like it because it's that 38 level that Claude was talking about.
Yeah.
So I like it to magnetize up there.
Yeah.
Maybe go up. I'm not taking longs. This is my maybe I'll let it rip to the high, or maybe we're not even gonna see that because it's so bearish.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not gonna even see that.
I think
to reach that level.
I don't think the double break is really attractive here to the upside because we've had almost a week of bearish price action, or chop and bearish. So I think it's just less and less likely to see that sweep to the upside. So I'm also looking for that 36 kind of level where the New York VWAP is sitting right now, and then shorting it from there.
Right, and if you look at the overnight, it's right at the top of the range. So it could be a magnet as well, because we have a trend. The cleanest trend is on the overnight. And you can have a magnet too there, and then break down and make to the new low. So now it's just a waiting game.
It is, but it's a nice looking trade if we can get it back up here, because we also have we can put our stop above the opening range high. That's a decent stop. We just need to size accordingly.
Yeah, we have stock levels. I actually like the short on there. I like the stack levels there. That would be a beautiful short from 50.
Where?
From the overnight.
Yeah, that's super nice. But now it's rejecting on previous day's lows, but we'll see.
Yeah, you're right. Previous day's lows are right there.
Apple is the only Mag 7 that's remotely green.
Right. Where's Apple? Yeah, it's up $2.
Yep. 0.7%. Tesla down 1.5%. Nvidia almost 2.5%. Broadcom. I have Broadcom on I call it my Mag 8. It's down almost 4%. So it's kind of a continuation of that drop they had post earnings.
Right.
Yep. Something that I've capitalized on for the past couple of Fridays has been news. So I've actually been long both last Friday and the Friday before, sitting in a pretty long trade, probably something like an hour and a half, and then basically caught a news pop, something, it's Friday afternoon, Trump tweets something, and the last couple of weeks at least, it's been positive news or received positive, and then but I think that's probably also part of the sell-off, right? It's not really getting solved in the Middle East. Nothing's really happening, so people are getting increasingly worried.
Well, that what I've been reading is not that I have better sources than you, or that it's escalating. That's what I've been
Yeah,
reading.
it's probably escalating. That's true. And they're not getting that solution with with Lebanon and Israel, and so yeah. John, I don't really know about the PDT. I know it's been abolished, and that's probably good for day traders. I find it weird that you had that. We don't have that here. There's no limit to it, so to speak. So it's, if you have a lot of money, you can day trade, which means you can lose a lot of money. So I've never found that rule very logical. But it's a good thing. I guess it's a good thing for retail that it's that is being abandoned. And then I guess over time it could probably result in more volume as well, more market participants. We'll see. Oh, this rejection of the previous day's lows, that could be like, I mean, that's setting up for a major dump.
Yeah.
And also, I would say the further we go down from here, the less attractive my stop gets, right? If we come back to New York, where do I put my stop? So I need to see.
I don't like it there. I don't like it there.
No.
I'm not gonna get induced. It might sweep here a new low and then get bought out right to 50 with 10 a.m. Volume. So let's just, I mean, in my opinion, I'm waiting. I'm not getting induced. I've been induced a lot in my life, and I'm not going to.
Yeah. So I mean, the trade today could be something like it going up to New York and then bouncing down, or rejecting down, but it's not the most attractive setup, because you're gonna have the New York around here somewhere, and then we always want to trade into some sort of structure. I mean, it's not strictly required, but it's just an attractive position to be in if you can trade into some previous structure and then have a good, decent stop loss. And that's just getting really difficult when you have these kinds of sell-offs. So I would probably, if I do need to do anything or trade anything, I want to see the rejection happen first, see the turn, and then a good close, maybe on the 2 or the 5 minute, good close beneath the New York, and then jump into the continuation to the downside. But I'm also like you, I'm just waiting.
Yeah, let's say if we would have gotten on the retest of the orb, of the opening range break on the downside at 75, 22, 75 would have been our entry on the retest of the break on the new low, and then getting there. That's a break and retest, or a turn, like ASFX calls it, from the level. So definitely, I would like to see now a retest of 16, 17, and maybe I'll scalp it here to 500 if it turns, but it doesn't look like it's going to.
Right.
Now that we broke that level, now a retest of that level, in my opinion, I'll take it in one account. Now that level was holding twice, now the retest could come to 21, 16. That entry area, I would like that entry area now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Let's wait for the shake-up of the 10 a.m. news.
Yeah, we'll see what the 10 a.m. Are there news at 10 a.m.?
No, sorry, I don't know if there's news.
No news.
I'm just saying there is volume.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But you were right, Jesper. That retest of yesterday's low could have been a trigger for a short.
But if you're trading VWAP, then it's just not the ideal price, right? Because you're still sitting 8 points off the New York. So it's a trade, yes, but it's just not in the system.
Gotcha. No, it's discretionary. Discretionary. You have VWAP alignment.
Yeah.
You did had a bigger risk. You're correct.
Yeah.
If we're thinking of risk management, you're correct. Yes, that was a bigger risk trade, but you have VWAP alignment, so you're not outside of the strategy. You're just not waiting for that bounce or that reclaim that we usually wait. So
if you're confident about the sell-off, you could enter here, and then you adjust your stop and your size so that you're still sort of trading within the VWAP system. Another thing you could do is, if you see this, like this candle here, the 955 candle, on the close of that, it's kind of a rejection, right? You've seen it try to break above, then it rejects, and then you just put your stop super tight, like at the opening range low,
right.
And manage your risk from
there. I would have not put it there. I would have put it at least to that midpoint of the higher, a little higher. That midpoint of the rejection right there. That would have been my stop.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That would have been, and my target would have been 500.
So here, yeah, that's a decent trade for sure.
Yeah. 10 a.m.
But
check it off,
and now we're
going to 500.
We've got New York VWAP almost coming out of the opening range low at this point, so it's a really bearish day.
Yep. Sadly, we did not participate in this sell-off.
Yeah, that's also the thing, right? Is something I had to get used to when I was in the Black Shirt Club and trading and like learning the SFX system. You see these big moves out of the open, and you're just sitting there biting your knuckles because you're not in it, right? But when you gain the experience and the consistency, you also realize that, okay, it's a complete gamble to just jump in at 930 or 932.
Right.
Yeah, okay, here we see the pickup, right? There's some volume coming in with buyers.
Yeah, it's a bounce.
It's a bounce
to the low.
Yeah.
Let me.
Yeah, that's also the thing, right? It can before the candle closes, it can become a giant wick to the upside, and then you're just continuing down.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to see. I might take a short right here. To see. I'll start building one.
What's your entry? What do you want to take an entry on?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm waiting.
But we've got stacked levels.
Right. So right here, it will be a good entry for me, in my opinion. Yeah.
At which price? So I would consider an entry at the opening range low, like 2650 or something like that. And then I would probably put my stop above the overnight VWAP and then trade to the session lows. So my position tool as it stands here. But I want to see it. Yeah. I want to see it reject. Oh, Mike is in the studio. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hey.
How you feeling?
How you guys doing?
Good.
What's up, Mike?
Not much.
Is the kid alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. Still alive. We succeeded. I won the game.
So you see what I was talking to you about, Jesper, this rejection of the previous support, that double tap it, and then you have that candle, that like evening star, whatever they call it. I'm not saying it's gonna go and that I'm predicting that it's gonna go. I'm just saying that this is things that I like to see for my trade. So I just took one micro because the bigger trade will be to the VWAP, and now that we're New York, VWAP is outside NQ, and ES will be soon there. And we've seen this before, that the the market doesn't even come back to test the VWAP. I'm not saying that I'm following. I only went with one micro. So my validation point for this trade will be 41. So I'm risking 24 points. So I'm risking
One
$100
micro.
basically.
Yeah.
One micro. That's what I'm risking to take 500. So I have 500. So my entry is 17. So what has changed since this green candles? Nothing. Buyers are not there.
No.
Buyers are not there. So I have consolidation in my mind that buyers are not there, and we retest the level. I see the wicks, and probably we're gonna see a new low.
Yeah, we're seeing. I mean, we're testing levels that we haven't seen since last Thursday, May 28th. So, but something
Only
that you
thing I don't
often
like
think.
about my trade,
What?
again, I go back to the VIX. The VIX hit resistance on the 15 minutes, and it break it, and then kind of like it could be like at the reversal signal as well.
Yeah.
For the
But
upside.
the more things you look at, the more conflicting it's going to get, right?
Right. Exactly. But it's working out. Trade is working.
Good.
Have you heard of the concept of measured moves?
Nope.
So the concept
Mansplain it to us.
The concept of measured moves is that, like in normal markets, a move will happen and then there's a retracement. And the idea is that the retracement is generally in the 40 to 60% range. So if you look at the move from the open, from the high to the low here, like it is roughly 48 points on ES, right?
Yeah.
So in theory, if that was the first impulse move, in a normal market, and we're talking about not like, hey, COVID happened and now all of a sudden everyone's panic selling. There's no real new information in here. We should be retracing anywhere from 40 to 60%. So 18 to 25 points back before we can expect the next move. So I try and keep those principles in my head when I think about where my entry is. So for instance, roughly halfway back, there's the New York VWAP.
Yeah.
And
the opening range low.
Yeah. And if you look at the opening range low, there it is too. So I try not to get into these too aggressive shorts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not that they can't work out. Obviously they work out sometimes, but the likelihood of them working out is better when there's a bigger retracement.
Correct. Yeah. I agree with that, sir.
Yeah. It sounds a little bit like Fibonacci's.
Well, there's a reason why Fibonacci works. It's not because people use Fibonacci's. It's just it's a what's it called? A human behavioral thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm looking to get short around the New York VWAP, which also happens to line up with close to prior day low, which is close to the ETH lower band. So
yeah, there's a lot of stacked levels there.
Yeah, so
it's one of those trades you really, you almost obligated to take an entry off that level.
Right. That's what Austin would say, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But
I was up 8 points on my trade, but I did not close it.
No. You consider an add-in if you get a rejection here.
Well, I did not
down.
like the higher low. I did not like the higher low. I did not like the higher low. I was expecting a lower low. and it created a higher low. So I did not like that.
Yeah, that 15 minutes.
But on what time frame did it?
Yeah, it's the
on
1 minute,
on
right?
the 1 and 2 minute
The
it
1
created
minute.
high or low. On the 15 minute, it did not.
Yeah. But that's a clue. That's a clue sometimes. They say double break, which I find it kind of unlikely only to the clue that I said about the VIX.
So I'm short here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be short as well here. In just a sec. Let's see where our levels are.
You guys hear my Ninja Trader when it says order submitted?
No,
No.
Okay,
we're good. Okay, so this is the trade I'm in on screen. Negative R, but it is what it is. Maybe I should be shooting for below session lows. What is your target, Mike?
First target is 14. That's where I'll
Okay.
be taking probably the majority. I only have 3 micros on right now. I was hoping to get it add in a little bit higher, but
Right.
I actually missed my add in by like a tick, but that's unfortunate. So I'll take the majority off at 14, and the rest I'll let run probably to the low. If not, probably trail it as it gets closer to the low.
Yeah.
The rest being 1 micro.
Yeah. The rest being 1 micro. Whatever.
But on the apexes, I got a full mini and it's going. So that's good.
Nice. Is that with the intraday trailing?
Yeah, intraday trailing. So like I'll probably be very aggressive on taking profit there.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I flicked on the low of day VWAP here. I'm just seeing if there's a reaction of that. Not that it's gonna, impact my decision making a lot. It's just nice to see what the reaction is. I think I might actually also get a partial stop in here as well, just because it is so wide.
It's unfortunate. I was literally 1 tick from getting my add in, which would have been great.
Oh,
But you know what it is? I blame myself for like trying to copy to multiple accounts. So for instance, like the reason why I didn't like normally if it gets close to my add-in, I just like drag it over to like get the add-in in. But I was concentrating on the Apex accounts to get the orders in there. So
right.
Shame on me. Am I going to get my add in now? Do I still want it? I think I still want it. Nothing major has changed.
No, it's getting picked up by the low of day, but again, the low of day only has about 12 minutes of price action, 12 minutes of volume in it. So
Right. It's not significant right now.
no. We still got full VWAP alignment. Everything is looking bearish. And we're coming up on another 15 minute here. That's going to be interesting. Mike, why is it still saying setting on my opening range?
That's the one bug.
Okay.
It's I just haven't had time to fix it, but like yes, Yeah, I wouldn't trust the opening range part yet.
Okay.
Its time frame is off. I don't know what time frame it's currently using. It will say eventually it will set. I just don't know what time it will.
Okay.
It's probably looking at the IB versus the opening range. So like at 10:30.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's waiting for that to set.
Mm-hmm. So
Guys, I'm gonna
what
be
happened.
out to this trade if we close above 30.
Gotcha.
A 1 minute close above 30, I'm out. And I
I
only
might
have
stop
2
at
micros, so I'm
42.
not risking anything.
What were you saying, Mike?
I have my stop at 42. I'm gonna stick to it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I might move my final stop down a bit as well.
I'm gonna get out of the apexes though. It's unfortunate.
This is starting to look like a double break.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's see what
Yes,
what's
it
NQ
is.
doing. Oh, NQ has a perfect reversal spot right here. It's hitting New York and ETH lower band at the same exact time.
We'll see what happens.
It's not 100%, but it's high percent.
Yeah, an ES could just be forming like it's a zone, right? So it could just be forming a lower high, but we'll see.
Again, the measured move though, depending on when you start it, we're going from the open. 47 points, right? So 23 points up from there would be exactly where we are right now.
Yep. I like what you're saying now. Let's stick with that.
You know, nothing's perfect science, but
Yep. Not in this field anyway.
The beauty about today is, guys, that we are seeing all the brothers and sisters are working together. YM and Q, everybody. I'm out of my short.
Yeah,
I'm out of my short.
that hit up display is also it's flicking green here and there now. So
And I am long. I'm long in another account. I went long on another account.
oh, he went long. He flipped. I'm doubling down on the short.
No. No, I'm just doing evals, Mike, and I'm targeting overnight here. Not a lot, 12 points. Especially in Q also went above the VWAP. Where we have higher highs and higher lows from the low. We reclaimed yesterday's low. We reclaimed VWAP. We hit resistance on the VIX. I'm just stacking things in my mind for the trade. Like I'd stack other things for the short. So, you know, I can't. That's what happened to me the other day, that I married the longs and I blew up.
yeah.
So
Makes sense.
that's what happened to me, and I'm not marrying the short, especially after we sold off from 611 all the way to 506, 100 points. We cannot, you know, like you said, there's gonna be a inflection point of the 50% retracement, which in the high time frame, if we go to the 1 hour. Dios mío, todas estas líneas. 50% of this move. Oh, the pivot to pivot is 42. So 42 is overnight. Beautiful. So
yeah,
that's what we like I was saying to Jesper earlier before you jumped in. That's the trade that I like. That's the trendy trade.
Yeah.
We're picking up some momentum here on the upside just because
Yeah,
of the
it's really
buyers
flipping.
see that level as a target. You say, oh, we can get a level here. Let's 50% level to level. So let's go back to the 1 minute to see how it looks.
So now the opening range is actually saying inside. So there is a reading now on the opening range on the head-up display, but it's not IB yet.
That's weird. Okay, the opening range is buggy. We know this.
Yeah. Maybe it's just showing the inside. As soon as it popped inside, it's showing something, but I don't know.
10:20. What time? That's interesting. Is that like the 9:20? No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know what's going on with the opening range. I'll figure it out. I'll look at it tonight.
No problem. Anyone in the chat in a trade like Francis, John, in a trade? We're left, right, and center fading each other here on stream.
Still holding short.
Yeah, me too.
Good job, guys. I'm still on my long.
I mean, here's the moment of truth right now. We're back at New York VWAP. Are we bouncing up or are we cutting through?
Exactly. YM has cut through. It was green just before.
Yeah, YM is helping you guys.
Oh, bounce.
No,
Let's
that's
see
not
what
a bounce. That's a hold. That's one of the hardest things about trading is like seeing a reaction off a price and like determining, is that a bounce or is that just like.
But that's where the 1 minute also messes you up, right? Because you cannot rely on anything in one candle, right? So now's the time to double down on it. Back at entry price. Let's close below New York here and then see what it does to the low of day.
It's a shame.
Yeah, so
my
this is a
Apex
nice
account, my poor Apex accounts.
What was the position?
I mean, I was short at. I would have been in profit right now, right? But it's just you have to be more. I mean, like I'm being very aggressive on them. You know, I don't have to trade the minis, but like I choose to trade the minis. Yeah. So like it was unfortunately a $500 swing on my what's it called? On my drawdown because it was in $300 of profit and then it ended up being $200 loss.
Ouch.
So
those are the moves that really hurt, right? Because you had something and then you have to eat the drawdown or you have to take a loss on it.
Part of like the passing the eval mentality.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I got to hit that target. I want to hit it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And then you throw an intraday trailing drawdown, you know.
Yeah. So, low of day VWAP. Sellers, come on. Like you said the other day, Mike, at which percentage of time have sellers been in control in this session?
Yeah. 90.
Do we really want to buy?
Yeah.
And you had a point earlier on, Alex, like this level here, like what is it? 25, 50, something like that. I'm not saying it's a significant level, but you just see some kind of reaction continuously at the 1 minute time frame. You see something happening there, right? And now we've got the New York VWAP there as well. So it's just adding some.
Yeah, we're like flattening right now.
Yeah. But now we also have that low of day VWAP. We need to break that. If we reject hard off of it, or if it forms support, then I'm less convinced. You can also see that I've moved my partial stops down. So now we have a lower high formed. So if we break that, then that's at least a partial invalidation of my trade. I might actually move it a little bit tighter. Not trying to choke it, but
I moved my profit target to 15.25 because the lower band moved up on the New York.
okay. Yeah, it's a long way down to. I'm targeting 625, and I'm not sure I'm gonna hold it all the way there. Maybe the previous candle closes around 925. Could be a good level. That's a bit discretionary for me.
All
This
right,
is a good close under the low of day. I would anticipate some sort of continuation.
I
Definitely.
took the majority of my position off at just around 1650, I think. So, like 1.5 for a few micros, like what I lose out on $15. I very much live by don't be a dick for a tick.
I'm also considering taking partials here, I
Funny.
have to say. Maybe I'll put the full one at 10.
Here's what I'll say to you. Don't do partials if you don't normally do partials.
I do normally do partials.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah,
but I know ASFX doesn't really, so.
Right, but I'm moving my full. I'm gonna go full in, full out, but I'm moving it up a little bit. So this is this rejection from the previous lows where it did wick down, but it didn't close down there. So it's a bit too ambitious, I think, to get another wick all the way down there. But again, we have full alignment, right? There's nothing telling me that we shouldn't be going lower.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw this out there. In 3 minutes, the IB is set. And you know what that means? Madonna. And
So
in order for
when
the
you say
Madonna
that, what
to
do you mean?
happen,
You wanted to go down to the IB low?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what the target is.
Yeah, okay.
Now, if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't know if I'd want to take the Madonna in these conditions. And the reason being is because we are negative 13,000 contracts since the open on ES.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
On the CVD?
Yeah, on the CVD. So, there's two ways of entering on the Madonna. You could do the first touch, like where you just put a limit out there and pray.
Yeah.
Or you could wait for some sort of reaction and be quote unquote late to it.
Yeah.
And I think that if you want to try it, I would be late. I would want to be late to it today.
Yeah. I'm just taking a couple of screenshots here just to see how it plays out. See, I'm moving my stops tighter. So, I mean, it's not ASFX, but I feel like I'm invalidated if we get a higher high from that previous high there, and we're stopping here.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I think that's totally valid, because now you can make an argument. Oh, look at the 5 minute. Now we're getting a higher low on the 5 minute, and then 15 minute is still up there, but
yeah. What is the low of the close? It's 1150. That might actually be the best possible target.
If I was on the shore, I would have probably be targeting 7,500.
Okay, all the way down there.
Even lower.
just a psychological level. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I have my target I have my limit at 650. I'm okay with giving up those 6 points. Just take my profits.
So that's your limit buy order?
Yep.
Yeah, gotcha. Am I being edged here? Should I just close this thing? Nah, we got full alignment.
How?
We've got a new 15 minute coming on. I'll take it off.
You know my thought, like, don't be a dick for a tick.
I was more like 5 ticks, but whatever. I'm out. Let's see what happens here. I'm flat now.
I don't like that reaction off the lower band of the New York.
Was that the lower band it was sitting at there?
Yep,
Yeah.
1450.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep, I'm gonna take it off. That's okay.
So markups.
Let's see. That was $200 per account. I'll take it.
Nice. Nice. Beautiful, Mike. Good job.
Let's see. Realized P&L. I got 230 on one account.
Beautiful, guys. Good job.
See, like now we're looking at lower lows. This now,
Higher
now
lows, you mean?
I'm not
You mean
a
higher
fan of
lows,
the
right?
shorts anymore.
Yeah, we're looking at a more decent, I would say, setup of higher lows forming, and then if
Yeah,
we break,
higher lows. That's what I meant.
what I'm saying is if we come back above and we also break that lower high from before, bounce the New York and the opening range low, then I'll be looking for longs, but I'm probably done for today. It's just this thing where we're still in conditions where, I mean, buyers are right around the corner, right? They're just not that far away.
So, like, I don't know if this is a permanent flip, but like, since that 15-minute candle started, you know, like buyers are starting to come on the
Yeah.
CVD. Not
Yeah.
huge buyers, but buyers.
There's hardly any wick to the downside. That's true.
I'm back in the green.
Nice.
Oh, you're still long?
I'm still long, puppy. My stop is in the low.
Oh, nice. That's
I got my exit at 7 ticks from the lows, so that's okay.
Let's see.
The only way to invalidate me is to take me out on the low of the day.
I hate
Yeah.
to admit it, but Mr. Day Trader John was right. He very much predicted a 10 a.m. turnaround.
I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm following John on Instagram. He's posting win after win after win, so it's crazy. I don't know if John is sharing his losers, but it's looking pretty insane from
I mean, listen.
Who's John? Who's John?
He's in the.
John is our friend in the chat.
Yeah, he at not. What time was it? He was at.
He's at 10 a.m. right? It's gonna rally.
He said 10 a.m., but like at what time? He said it. Yeah, 9:37. He's like, at 10 a.m. we rally up, and literally 10 o'clock was the low of the day. So I don't know if John has a
John is a market
direct
maker.
line to Ken
Yeah.
Griffin, but
we'll shut up and we'll just listen to John in the chat.
I would, you know, if I'm being honest, like I'm very much against. Like I feel like I don't trade with like. I feel like this is going to happen, or my thoughts.
Yeah, me too.
So I was like kind of hoping to like that John would like learn a lesson, and then today I learned my lesson. You know, like listen to John.
But it's the thing. I mean, Alex and I were talking about that just when we opened it. Both feeling and thinking. You actually should try and do less of both, and just react, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know. I mean, it's not 100% true, but nothing is. It's just we overthink things a lot. And we also, you know, the gut feel also plays in. But just speaking for myself, I don't have enough experience to use my gut feel for a lot, to be honest.
Here's a nice reaction from here.
Yeah.
I got out of 3 because I was heavy. I went to 8 micros. I added on the higher low. This is discretionary, guys. This is not like completely VWAP. This is just things I do. Thinking of risk, so I know how much I was risking. My target again is the overnight, 40, which is the 50%, which that could be the one higher. Yeah, I'm gonna take another one here. Oh, one here. So now I only have 4 micros left. So far up to 45. And I'm gonna probably put my stop on that higher low that we formed, not on the low anymore. Especially now that we see the break and now we see a wick when we touch the VWAP, and also it took the high of that candle. So I'm thinking this could be a long for you guys if you wanna just go half size and
wanna
target
say-
that 40 over
I
there.
want to say it does look like a decent long here, especially if we hold the opening range low. But I'm not going to take it.
It's too far gone for me.
Yeah, it's also too high now. It's true, but we could see a break and retest, right?
Well, my last micro is at 566.
Look, the good setup here would be break that previous high, like come up to say 35, then come back down to New York, found support, and then trade it the long side.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'd like to see. Like coming up like this, break the previous high, come back down, and then continue.
So I'm taking this on my Apex. It's not on my Lucids.
Are you going long or?
No, I'm gonna go. I have a short order at New York VWAP. Overnight VWAP. Overnight VWAP. Sorry. Which,
Okay, like that. Okay.
which lines up.
That's a good trade. That's a good trade.
Yeah, and it lines up with the upper band of New York, and then it also lines up with a low volume node on the volume
Okay.
profile.
At 75.40 ish.
75, 38, 50. I'm front running a little bit.
Okay.
Remember we talked about 78, 70, 30, 50 Desper this morning.
Yep. That's where we're sitting now.
Yeah,
That was
No, we're at 30 right now.
Didn't you say 30.50? Or no, you meant 75.50.
70, 38, 75.
just do the last 2 digits.
Yeah.
And what was your logic when we just opened? What was the 38.50 level? What was that?
It was a level that it needed to break in order to lose the gamma that I was talking to you about.
Okay, so
The
that was
negative gamma. Yeah.
Oh, it also happens to be prior month high and prior week point of control.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm up 17 points in this trade
Hell yeah.
because of the addings.
Yeah. And how much risk? I mean, how many points to your stop?
My stop is only right now 3 points. Because
Okay,
of
so
the
you
higher
moved it.
low.
Yeah, okay. Tight stop. Good.
I'm only in 4 micros left. I was in 8. So we sweep that high 36.75. I'll be out of 3. And also there's a devil's mark. I don't know if you guys know what a devil's mark is. It's no wick on the top. So usually that goes with the magnet of I don't like this candle. I don't like this candle. So I'm
But look, if I wouldn't,
if we hold below,
we didn't form a new high, right? A higher high from that previous one, but we could still bounce. I mean, if you look at the 15-minute, I would probably wait for that to close. Let's say if we close above New York / opening range low, then it's more likely that we're gonna see longs play out. But if we close below it again, like if we have that high, like 2 massive wicks to the upside on the 15-minute, I don't know. I'm not gonna be long, that's for sure.
I'm still watching I watched the 5 and the 1.
Yeah.
So I'm still on the 5 right now. On the 5, it is giving me information of a rejection, but the 1 is giving me information of buyers and the VWAP. So now this candle right here, there's a fight right here. So fight,
I'm on the 5 minute now. Yeah.
Below, defending their position right here. So if we
See.
lose this right here, we close underneath in the next 2 seconds, I'm out.
Okay. We
Yeah.
closed above. We just closed the 5 minute above now.
John, you don't gotta walk back your Nostradamus powers. Take the win. You were right.
Take credit, full credit.
It's a lot of volatility here. A lot of volatility, guys. I'm actually moving my stop.
Do you
to
sometimes?
profit.
So Alex, do you flip through the different time frames? Also, you, Mike, how do you trade? Because I was listening to Brian Shannon, and he also says it, I think, in his book. The further you get into the session, you should probably flip to the 2 or the 5 minute, because you just.
I do.
I mean,
I do.
You do that, okay?
Yeah, I do flip, of course.
I
I
don't
have the 5
really,
on the chart that I trade. I have the 5 in the chart that I trade because I cannot trade on the 1 minute because it makes me anxious. And the 1 minute I'm watching it on TradingView because my chart is Ninja Trader. That's what I watch.
I don't really.
So this could be the short that goes to the 500. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm out.
What are you saying, Mike?
I don't really change time frames because VWAP is really time frame agnostic.
Yeah.
The only reason you need to rely on a time frame is if you're waiting for the reaction and you're looking for like a candle close. Since I'm just setting out limits at the levels I want to get in at, time frame doesn't matter to me. So like, do I have a 3 minute chart open? Sure. But like, could it be a 5 minute? Sure.
Yeah.
Could it be a 2 minute? Absolutely. 1 minute. It's just, the 1 minute and the 2 minute, like, what's it called? I agree. It makes me anxious a little bit because like you can, if you're staring at it and you see like a tiny pullback, it could like, oh, I need to get out of this.
You'll react. Right. Yeah.
So like the 3 minute is slow enough that it smooths out some of the noise, but in theory, the same principles apply on the 3, 5, 15, 30, doesn't matter.
We're in the lower day now. Now it's a lot of information in the lower day.
Yeah, this could be a decent short setting up here. I mean, it's probably already too far gone, but this is
not really. I mean, your stop is at 533, so it's 12 points.
And we do see a break of the low of day. The break of the low of day is playing out right now, so that could be another short setup, right? It's just, yeah.
I don't know. We're just coiling. Right? To me, there's no clear edge one way or the other, unless you're a scalper.
If you just had a clean chart, no indicators, nothing on it, this would be chop since about 10 a.m.
Yeah. But a tradable chop. It's a tradable chop. I mean,
it's a tradable chop. Yeah.
Yeah. It's making big moves.
Like I'd rather a 20-point chop than like a 5-point chop.
100%.
Oh my God, that's so annoying.
Yeah, it does. The volatility is a little bit higher than it has been a couple of days. It's also so the IB is set. What's the IB low now? It's 575.
75 or 575.
Yeah. But my head-up display is saying inside.
Okay, guys, I do have a question. I haven't been looking at the screen. And Mike, this question is for you.
Yes.
Great job on the indicator, by the way.
Thank you.
Now that you have it, we're on a stream, and you might want to share this indicator, even get it like probably a subscription for it. Can you like walk us through the process of looking at the indicator? Because we are used to like the ASFX indicator in the screen, at least. And not that I follow it, but I do see a lot of levels marked. Can you walk us through if we have time? Anybody in the tray right now?
That's a good point. Yeah.
I can walk you through it, but here's what I will clarify. This particular indicator, I am not looking to make money off of. This was purely made for, we'll call it family and friends, because at the end of the day, this is Austin's indicator, and it's a paid thing for him. And I was just trying to kind of a little pet project. Let's make it easy. But if you want, I could share the screen and show you what everything does.
Yeah, please do.
But for anyone out there that wants a custom indicator, please go to chartsmith.dev.
We put the link in the chat.
Yeah, chart. So, yeah, I'm sharing screen. I don't know how to put it up.
No, I'll put it up. That's fine. It's up now.
Yeah, so I'll get rid of this one. That's a different one. So what is this? It's just if you follow ASFX system, they care about 3 different VWAPs. They care about the prior day New York, which is prior day. Everything is abbreviated so you could read it a little easier. So PD stands for prior day. RTH means the pit session. So the 930 for stock for indices, and 8:20 for gold, 9 a.m. for oil. So here you see you have prior day levels like prior day value area low or prior day value area high if you go up high, or prior day point of control. Not everyone trades with those levels, but I know like Randy does. So like, and I'm pretty sure
I do.
So like these are relevant to anyone that likes to know what the value area was of the previous day. I believe I also have prior week value area high, prior week value area low, prior week point of control.
Those are good. Those are good levels. Those are good levels.
Yeah, and then you can, if you don't want certain VWAPs, you can hide them. If you don't want the previous day New York, you could hide it. If you don't want the low day VWAPs, you could hide them too, or the high day VWAPs.
ETH VWAP is the daily VWAP.
Yes, this is the 6 p.m. session turnover.
Gotcha.
One of the things I was proud of, I don't know if you noticed, there's like multiple low day VWAPs. You'll see like this is when the low day VWAP was established, and then it stops when the new low day happens.
Right.
And then it stops when the new low day. So like I was pretty proud of that one.
That's a good job.
And the one thing that's buggy is the opening range. I have to figure out what time frame it's actually using. But the meat and potatoes of it is this HUD heads-up display right here, where you can display where each ticker is in relevance to each VWAP or opening range or trend. So like you can see that ES, NQ, and YM are all below all the VWAPs. And then what does trend mean? There's a mixed, strong down, and strong up. So mixed is, if you're above one VWAP but below another one, it'll show mixed. So the thing I did was, though, if you're above New York, it'll be green mixed. If you're below New York, it'll be red mixed, because I know ASFX prioritizes the New York VWAP above all. So strong down is, clear, like you're below all of the VWAPs. Strong up, you're above all the VWAPs. And then what's supposed to happen in the opening range is that if you're inside, but have not, but touched one of the sides, it would show inside, and then an arrow up indicating that, or a green bubble indicating that the upside was touched, and then a red bubble showing that the downside was touched. If both of them are touched, you'll see both a green and red bubble. And then outside is clear, and then it'll show green or red bubble indicating if it's which side it's on.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's really it. Any questions?
Discretionary. How do you use the previous week's value areas to your discretion?
So to me, it's just an area of interest, right? If we're trading within previous week's value area high and previous week's value area low, that means we're still in a quote unquote range or balanced area, depending on. So like to me, that would read like, okay, longs and shorts are both in play. But if we're below previous week's value area high and low, and previous days value are high and very low, to me that screams shorts. I would only look for shorts in that type of environment, and then vice versa. If we're above everything, I would only look for longs.
Gotcha.
Where I'd prefer longs. You know, like obviously there's going to be short setups in any environment too, but
Mike,
Thank you so
can
much.
can I toggle off the low of day and the high of day from the head-up display? I noticed you don't have them there, do you? Oh, you do have them there.
you
Because
can
I'm-
toggle off the actual lines, but no, if you want that, I could add that. But like at the moment, no, there's no way to toggle
Yeah, okay.
off specific columns.
Fine. Okay. So a feature a little bit like you can add tickers, but then you could also toggle on and off on the VWAPs. It's just my head-up display is getting a little bit big, so I'm just simplifying it a little bit. If I could take those off.
That makes sense. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's cool. But you can add tickers. I will definitely add SPX.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it should work. The
Or
only thing you
SPY,
won't
or
get,
SPY.
yeah, the only thing you won't get with the stocks is overnight VWAP because it's pretty much useless. So it'll
Correct.
just show a flat
Right.
line.
Yeah, because it closes at 4:30.
Yeah.
I mean at 4.
Yeah, I mean you get some volume, but it's not anything important to
It's
know.
not anchor to, let's say, whenever the after hours close it to like 8 p.m. It's not anchored to that.
Exactly.
And it's very low volume, and it has to be like an earnings that you can anchor a VWAP on the earnings on the symbol anyways, on the on the S&P or the NASDAQ if you want, depending
Yeah.
what the big move was.
One thing I should note about the indicators, I have the premium subscription to TradingView, which means that I have a look back of 20,000 bars, which means that all this will work on a 1 minute. But if you don't have the premium, let's say you have the plus or I forget the other one, you need to look at it on the 2 minute or above because you don't have enough look back to get prior day or prior week. It's more so the prior week levels. Because the prior week,
I have that top tier of TradingView.
there you go. So you'll be okay on any chart then.
What is this? This is the Chris strategy indicator.
So these are my indicators based off of Chris Drysdale's VWAP wave system.
Gotcha.
This is a position size calculator that I have available for anyone. It's publicly available. You can base your stop off of the standard deviation bands. You can base your stop off of the ATR. If you want to look at like, hey, the average range of the last 5 or 14 or however many candles is, 6. Maybe you want to have a stop size of 6.7, and you could also base it off the IB, and you can hide.
Awesome. Coming up on the 11 a.m. We're gonna wrap up for the week.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get this short here.
No, we'll see. I think it's kind of megaphoning right now, so it's just consolidating at the low of day VWAP pretty much.
Francis, to your question, I don't believe they've ever done an official back test, but there's years of anecdotal evidence where they're forward testing their strategy, and Austin has an 85% win rate. So, granted, we'll attribute 10% of that to just his instincts, but the system has a really high win rate.
Yeah. Win rate and R&R are two different conversations. So VWAP traders usually do trade negative RR, but we do have a target that tends to be negative RR. But the high win rate on the long term, it does makes it profitable, if that makes sense. And we're not talking about 1 to 4. We're talking probably a 1 to 2 sometimes, and sometimes 1 to 1. We have setups that we're positive RR on the VWAP setting. Sometimes I say this double break would have worked. This would have been a positive RR. like a 2-to-1 to the high
So they do-
high of the range, depending
do
on the
exist,
sentiment
right?
of the day.
They do exist, and I think for me, I mean, they're reversely proportional, right? The lower the win rate, the tighter the stop, the higher the reward to risk, right? What you're gonna have to, I mean, the way we trade here, yes, it's often 1-to-1 or less, which requires a high win rate. I mean, essentially, you only need, if you're trading 1-to-1, you need a 51% or 50.1%, or whatever you want to say. You need a win rate of that at least over the long term. And then your win rate will deteriorate as you go for higher and higher hours. I mean, that's the math of it, right? If you have a 2-to-1 on average, you will need a 33% win rate to break even. But it's also psychologically to me. So I like the wider stops, because if a lot of people will be impacted quite heavily if they have to take three stop outs to get a win, even if it's a high R trade. So you have to think about how it impacts your psychology to take loss after loss after loss, even if they're small, compared to that eventual winner. But that's just that's how I see it. And having traded VWAP, the ASFX system now for almost a year, I think I've just got accustomed to the wide stops and the high win rate. My win rate is, we can look at that here. My win rate is for the accounts that I'm trading now, the past 2.5 months is 76%. So I need that, because my average loser is, I don't know, what is that? Is $215, and my average winner is $150. So it's my average win to loss is 0.7. So I need a high win rate for sure.
I think I have like like right now I'm running a 66% win rate, but my RR is like 0.85 or 0.9.
Okay. Have you done the stats? Have you checked before and after you switched to the Drysdale system? Because I would imagine you get stopped out more, also just because you're taking more trades, but I don't know.
I would need more data on the Drysdale system, because well, let's be to be clear, I have been trading a system similar to the Drysdale system for about 2.5 years now. I did the ASFX thing for a few months, but for about 2.5 years I've been trading this system, like almost with tweaking it. Now that I'm in Drysdale's group, he's definitely taught me a bunch of new things. But so like I would need more data on this current version of my trading system before I have like a good comparison, because I've only been trading this particular way for about a month.
Okay.
So for instance, like bigger stops, clearer targets, whereas like previously it was a little bit more scalpier. And I did, when I was trading ASFX, I could tell you that my win rate was 80% ish, but my 20, when I lose, the reason why it didn't work for me is because like when I had such a high win rate, I like couldn't accept the loss. And like when it was a loser, I would just keep dragging the stop all the way down and then eventually blow up my account.
Okay. So that was actually the opposite of what I was saying, where if you have a low win rate, it can hurt your psychology, but you had such a high win rate that rare loss would trigger you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I need that. I can't be too low of a win rate, but I can't be too high of a win rate for my mentality.
Right. It's a balance.
It's crazy.
Okay, guys, I don't think we're going to see your short pan out here, Mike. So we're going to wrap up now because it's approaching 11 a.m. I really appreciate the two of you coming on. Thanks for joining me on a Friday. And to the chat, see you all next week. And
Thank you guys.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Have a good weekend.
Have a nice weekend.